Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7x7. First things first, I just have to say thank you so much to all the folks who had such wonderful things to say about me and the podcast. Thanks to the 4th anniversary of Star Wars 7x7, which we celebrated quietly yesterday with a podcast full of gratitude and a lovely day that I got to spend with the boys, with Quizmaster Joe and Scorekeeper Declan, before Quizmaster Joe actually goes away for another 2 weeks. So, oh man, this is quite the roller coaster ride. But anyway, it's been a good, fun anniversary. And again, thank you so much to everybody who had such wonderful things to say to me in text messages and on social media and public and all that good stuff. So thank you very much. Now, let's talk about Are You Scared, Darth Vader, which is, yes, a children's picture book. It is therefore not canon in the true definition of the word. And hey, that's okay. You know, it doesn't always have to be canon here. I do have to say thank you so much to Disney-Lucasfilm Press for sending me a copy of the book. It is actually a very lovely, very beautifully done book as a Halloween book, you know, so it's got really awesome artwork where it's got stuff superimposed on images of a swamp and very unusual techniques which are described in the colophon page. Is that right? Yeah, that's right, of the book. So yes, by the description, you've probably figured out that it is a children's book. It is a picture book. And so, you know, the age grading on it, there was a little note that came with it from Disney-Lucasfilm Press that didn't say what ages it was intended for. Looking at Amazon, it has a couple of different things. It says age range 8 to 12 years, which was odd. And then grade range was kindergarten to 3rd grade. So yeah, it's probably more in that younger frame of reference. And the whole gist of the story is that, you know, Darth Vader isn't scared of anything because, hey, he's Darth Vader, right? But maybe there is something he's scared of. And so I don't really want to spoil the book for you, but there's actually some, you know, moments where even as an adult Star Wars fan, if you're not being, you know, too uptight about things, you will actually laugh. Like there are a couple of classic Star Wars Darth Vader lines that are worked into the text, which are done very well. Adam Rex has a really great time writing this book. You can tell that he just had a barrel of fun doing it. And I'll tell you what it really reminded me of. Back when Quizmaster Joe and Scorekeeper Declan were younger lads, there was a book by John Sheshka, and that was called The Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales, and it was illustrated by Lane Smith. And the artwork in that book is also rather different from your standard illustrated children's book, and it also does something that most children's books don't do, which is it breaks the metaphorical fourth wall. In other words, it actually starts talking to you as a reader of the book, and this one has a moment or two where it does that as well. Now, considering the fact that we've been learning a lot more about Darth Vader, particularly in the comics that are being produced by Marvel Comics these days, or at least, you know, a lot more about the new canon Darth Vader, if you will, well, you could let your brain go a little bit dark and think to yourself, well, every other character that appears in this book, ultimately, Darth Vader could have just massacred them all, and that would have been the end of the story. But no, you know, we can't do that. It's a children's picture book, so I just want to say that it was well handled all in all, and it's a fun read. And so I highly encourage you, if you're thinking of a book to give this Halloween for a younger reader, somebody who either already loves Star Wars or who needs to be introduced to Star Wars, then Are You Scared, Darth Vader is a really great way to start. It was a lot of fun. So that's really all we had to talk about on the podcast today, this lovely children's book. And in tomorrow's episode, we'll be checking back in because it'll be Monday. It'll be the start of a new week and the end of another weekend, which means that we will do scoundrel business on the podcast. But, you know, that will be for another day. Over on the audio version of the podcast at sw7x7.com/iTunes or /Spotify or /wherever you like to listen to podcasts. I'll be doing Last Jedi trivia, so do check that out. But for now, it just remains for me to say thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be.